Thanks for joining us on World at Noon. My name is Sahid Aripisala. Ondo State government says distribution of food items released by federal government to cushion the effect of hardship occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy is in top gear. Members of the Palliative Distribution Committee in Ondo State who spoke with Osrc despaired insinuations that politics and other considerations were prioritized. Osrc's Omori Olongbeji has the detail.
Some months ago, federal government of Nigeria announced the release of 5 billion naira alongside food items as palliative to states to cushion the effects of the subsidy removal on petrol in Nigeria. Ondo State government got its own share of 3,000 bags of rice for vulnerables and acquired additional 3,000 bags for sufficiency. Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Bamidele Ademola Olateju, confirmed that the 6,000 bags of rice will be equitably distributed under transparent conduct to mitigate the current hardship. To this end, a committee was constituted which has representatives from various sectors, society, and associations to cover all and sundry. A member of the committee in Akure South local government, Mr. Gbenga Fashua, who spoke on measures adopted for the execution, confirmed that the poor of the poorest were the major target of 1 bag of rice to 5 households.
The structure had been well designed and we are following it to a letter. The poorest of the poor is the target. And for Akure South local government, I can vividly say it had been 100%. The turnout had been awesome. And of course, when we were scaling how this would be distributed, we covered it without any reservation for a particular area. The Christian community, the Muslim community, the indigents, Hausa community. I think on the first day when we started in Akure South local government distributing us, we got 2,000 bags. And the model is that a bag shall be for 5 household. For that, we are expected to distribute for 10,000 households in the first phase. And I can confidently say that this first phase, we broke it into phases. The first phase, we had over 100 households that we've been able to give to. As we speak, we've done about 4 occasions, though we still had left. Following, as people are coming in, there is a slip of a form that is being rolled out per community. Virtually no community within Akure that has not been covered.
Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Ondo State, Charles Titiloye, who oversees that of Akure South local government, said data was collated before the commencement of the distribution.
Our special interest is the vulnerable, the widow, the poorest of the poor, the unemployed youth, and then people who are living with disabilities. So far, the various communities have responded very well to our request for data. We collated data first, and after the collation of data, we sent mass SMS to those who are beneficiaries, and they come to Akure South local government to receive the palliative.
He also speaks on the next line of action.
Sharing of palliative is going to be in installment. That is what the state government are packaged. What we are having now is 10 kg of rice, which is going around now. Sooner or later, we are going to take delivery of gari. We are going to take delivery of elubo. And we are very sure that we'll be able to wet the town with enough food for our people.
In the same vein, more interventions are currently ongoing in the state to cushion the effects of the hardship, including 10,000 naira for all pensioners in the state from August this year, free shuttle bus for school children, mass transit for workers, and support for farmers. Omori Olongbeji, Osrc News.
The chairman, Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kole Adebayo, has reiterated his commitment to providing the platform for journalists and broadcasters to excel. Mr. Adebayo spoke in Akure while receiving caretaker committee members of Association of Nigeria Broadcasters and Board, Ondo State Chapter. Our correspondent, Kole Ario, reports.
It was a familiarization visit to the headquarters of Osrc Media Group at Orita Obele in Akure, The team, led by the caretaker chairman, Mr. Oye met with the management of Orange 94.5 FM, Alala 96.5 FM, and Osrc Television, where they met minds. Mr. Oye said the aim of the visit was to intimate the cooperation with the vision and mission of the association and to ensure that the association is deeply rooted in the state. He also said the platform was created to support members in the areas of need and capacity building.
Leaders meet with the legislative to discuss key issues affecting our industry. This is one of the principal reasons why we are here. We don't want to be left alone. We need professionals. We need those who know their audience as touching broadcasting. And when we are talking of broadcasting in Ondo State, Osrc is the first among equals. It's private enterprise. So as a result of that,
the chairman of Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, represented by the director Alalaye 96.5 FM, Mrs. Bukola Ogunkwa, assured the committee members of the corporation support Mr. Adebayo called for training and retraining among their members so as to excel in the profession.
One needs raw talent, but the talent needs to be modified through training and retraining, and adhering to the codes and ethics of broadcasting as well as NBC code. If you want to be a good presenter, if you want to be a good broadcaster, then you have to adhere to the rules, and that is where Osrc stands out. You have raw talent, but if you know the tricks of the game, if you know the tricks of the business, if you know the tricks of presentation, you may not have the raw talent and you will deliver. And if a person that has raw talent doesn't have a tutelage, how to organize himself, how to know where to talk, when to talk, the person that doesn't have raw talent but just has interest in broadcasting, such a person may outshine a person with raw talent, and I think you agree with me on that.
Ambrod Ondo State chapter was formed on the 6th of July 2023 with caretaker committee inaugurated same day to steer the ship of the association for initial 6 months. Kunle Aruyo, Osrc News.
All Progressives Congress APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje has set up a 9-man committee to intervene in the impeachment. In commemoration of Nigeria's 63rd Independence Day anniversary on Sunday, October the 1st, 2023, the federal government has declared Monday, October the The National Economic Council, NEC, presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima, has appealed to Labour to stay action on their planned indefinite nationwide strike. Also, The Ministry of Labour and Employment says its attention has been drawn to reports circulating online claiming that the President will announce wage awards and palliatives to workers during his October 1st Independence Day broadcast. A statement by the Director of Press in the Ministry, Olajide Oshundun, said the report, which is said to have emanated from a purported interview with the Director of Information, also claimed that a last-minute meeting has been scheduled between the federal government and Labour to avert the proposed industrial strike. Oshundun says the report is false and misleading, as at no time did he make such disclosure of either the announcement of wage awards or a scheduled meeting to the said newspaper during their interview. He enjoined members of the public to ignore the report as it is a total fabrication of an interview by the reporter to suit the narrative of the interest best known to his organization. He said, whenever the minister schedules a meeting with Labour, the public will be adequately notified through a verified medium. The September edition of the monthly environmental sanitation exercise holds (7 and 10 in the morning. Mr. Mawale, who implored residents of the state to use the period to clean their surroundings, said any violator will face the wrath of the law. He assured the people of the state of better days ahead towards making the state cleaner, neater and better. Also in Lagos State, the Lagos Waste Management Authority lawman for offences including improper waste disposal and trading activities obstructing free flow of traffic, among others. Lawman Managing Director Muyiwa Badigeshi said the plazas were found to be in violation of several critical environmental regulations, which include indiscriminate dumping of waste on road median, use of road setbacks for trading activities, impeding free flow of traffic and operation of illegal motor parks in the area. Badigeshi called on all stakeholders, including market associations, traders and residents, to cooperate with the authority in ensuring that markets adhere to established environmental guidelines, adding that collaborative effort was crucial to creating an alluring cityscape that adequately supports commerce and the well-being of the people. The federal government is assured that it will pursue digital inclusion to ensure inclusive growth and increase the number of individuals and businesses that participate in the formal economy so that no one is left behind. At the unveiling of a financial app in Abuja, Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, observed that a significant amount of entrepreneurs in the country should be brought into the formal economy to drive strong and inclusive economic growth and alleviate poverty. He noted that financial inclusion helps to alleviate poverty by giving people access to financial tools such as savings and credit to enable them access services, grow businesses and create job opportunities. Tijani stated that entrepreneurs have the responsibility to drive economic growth while the government puts in place necessary policies that will enable businesses thrive. He urged investors to leverage technology, invest in creativity and come up with new ways of helping the country develop fast. Ogun State Election Petition Tribunal has fixed Saturday, September 30th for judgment in the petition filed by the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Ladi Adibutu, challenging the victory of Governor Dapo Abiodun. The tribunal secretary, Mrs. Ezenta Obioma, confirmed to journalists in Abeokuta that the three-man tribunal headed by Justice Amidu Kunaza would begin delivering judgment on the petition by 9 a.m. PDP and its governorship candidate Adebutu had dragged Abiodun, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and the All Progressives Congress (APC) before the tribunal sitting in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. PDP and Adebutu challenged the victory of Abiodun at the March 18 governorship election in the state after INEC declared Abiodun winner. Consul General of France in Lagos, Laurent Favier, has expressed his determination Mozambique's health authority have expressed concern that some 37% of children in the country are suffering from chronic malnutrition. This troubling rise is compounded by lack of access to healthcare and limited education opportunities, posing serious challenges to the overall development of Mozambique's youth. Civil society groups are calling for the implementation of a national early childhood policy. Advocates argue that such a policy could help address the developmental obstacles faced. The Ministry of Health, Gender, Children and Social Action and partners met in the capital, Maputo, to seek answers to early childhood development problems, which is the period from birth to 8 years of age. And at least 50 people have been killed and more than 50 injured in a suicide attack in Pakistan. And Dutch police have arrested a gunman who killed at least 3 people in twin shootings in the city of Rotterdam. They say the male attacker opened fire in a home before setting it alight, then stormed the city's Erasmus Medical Center. He was a student of Erasmus University, which is affiliated with the hospital. Aketude Akishamola has an update.
Dutch police have arrested a 32-year-old suspect in the shooting to death of 3 people in Rotterdam. Police said a gunman fatally shot a 39-year-old woman and her 14-year-old daughter in their home, then set the building on fire. The girl was taken to hospital where she died from her injuries. Police spokesman Fred Vestervet said the suspect then made his way to Rotterdam Medical Center University Hospital. Once there, he entered a classroom and shot a 43-year-old male teacher who also died from his injuries. A hospital employee was at work when the shooting took place.
We heard that there was a shooting. First, we all had to stay inside, and then suddenly, we all had to go outside. I was working with children, and we had to get them all out of the consulting rooms, and then we ran outside.
The suspect was arrested near the hospital, where also started a fire. Vesterbeck said he was apprehended with a firearm in his pocket and was wearing a bulletproof vest. He added that the suspect was a student who acted alone and called his actions targeted but did not provide a motive. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
U.S. House Republicans have issued 3 subpoenas for Hunter Biden and James Biden's personal and business banking records as part of the impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. The subpoenas came after the Republican-led House Oversight Committee held its first impeachment inquiry hearing into President Biden. Adarunke Clowley monitored the proceedings.
The Republican-led House Oversight Committee kicked off the first hearing in its impeachment inquiry of President Joe Biden on Thursday, but Republicans failed to provide any new information related to foreign business ventures by the president's troubled son, Hunter Biden, nor did they provide evidence that the Democrat president had personally benefited.
We were going to present evidence.
What evidence? There's no evidence witnesses. There are no fact
just
witnesses.
Sit back and let the American people see the hearing and let the American people decide.
All right.
Instead, GOP members only alleged that Biden lied about family member business dealings.
For years, President Biden has lied.
Here is the chairman of the committee, James Comer.
He lied by telling the American people that there was an absolute wall.
Democrats on the panel refuted those claims with Representative Jamie Raskin, saying there was no evidence of wrongdoing.
The committee has received 12,000 pages of bank records. Here they are, right in front of us, printed double-sided. and not a single page shows a dime going to President Joe Biden.
Two of the four GOP witnesses admitted that while the panel had enough evidence to open an impeachment inquiry, it did not have enough evidence to justify impeachment charges.
This is an embarrassment to the time and people of this country.
Democrat Representative Alexandra Cortez argued that Republicans had no standing to open the inquiry.
We are wasting our time. When we talk about a threshold of an impeachment inquiry, was there a House floor vote that had a majority of members of Congress that opened an impeachment inquiry into President Clinton?
There was.
There was. Was there a full House floor vote opening an impeachment inquiry into President Trump?
In 2019.
Is there one here for this one?
Not for this one.
It is unclear if the House Republicans, who have a narrow 221 to 212 majority, would have the votes at the end of the inquiry to support actual impeachment. But even if that vote succeeded, it is highly unlikely that the Senate, where Democrats hold a 51 to 41 majority, would vote to remove Biden from office. Hadirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
And on sports now, Europe have made a perfect start in their quest to regain the Ryder Cup by making a clean sweep on Friday's opening session to lead the United States 4-0. The leaderboard was all blue from the moment Rory McIlroy owed a birdie putt on the fourth as Luke Donald's men made the fast start he had craved. It is the first time Europe have led after the opening session since 2006. To illustrate Europe's dominance, they did not trail in any match and won 22 holes to 10 by the US. It is the first time Europe have opted to play the alternate shot foursomes in the opening session since their previous home defeat back in 1993. And still in sport, Morocco have been awarded the hosting of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations finals, replacing Guinea, who were stripped of their rights to host the tournament last year, while the 2027 rights were handed to a co-bid from Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. The North Africans won by default after Algeria, Zambia and a joint bid from Benin and Nigeria all withdrew before the vote of the Confederation of African Football's Executive Committee in Cairo. Olumide Adeloye has an update.
The host for the final of the next two African Cup of Nations tournaments were announced by the governing body of football in Africa, Egypt. The soccer competition will head to Morocco in 2025.
Can we clap hands for Morocco, please?
That is after Guinea was stripped of the right to host last year after it was found to be well behind in preparation.
27.
A co-bid from Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda was selected for AFCON 2027. Morocco won by the vote after Algeria, Zambia and a joint bid from Benin and Nigeria all withdrew from the Confederation of African Football Executive Committee vote in Egypt, capital of Cairo. The North African country had been the runaway favorite. The decision would be seen as a boost to their hopes of co-hosting the 2030 World Cup with Portugal and Spain. With victory for the joint East African bid for 2027 was met with surprise. It returns the final to the region for the first time since 1976. That is after the joint bid of Botswana, Egypt and Senegal in a vote. Algeria had also been a candidate but withdrew on Tuesday. Kenya had been sent to host in 1996 but was stripped of the competition because of poor preparation. The country only recently had a long FIFA ban lifted over government interference in the running of their soccer federation. Olumide Adeluwoye, Osrc News.
And that's World at Noon this time. Join us at 2 for more. Thanks for watching.